Hi everyone, today I'm going to show you 10 AI prompts that will make government contracting easy for you. So we all agree that government contracts, they are long, complex, and they are time consuming. And a lot of businesses shy away from government contracting because of the complexity of these documents. So today my hope is to show you these 10 AI prompts that you have to have in your government contracting process to make it super easy. You're going to feel like you are cheating the system. So without further ado, let's get to the first prompt. So the first prompt, and this one is important, and I usually always start with it, that asks about requirements and deliverables. And the question I ask the AI, what are the main requirements or deliverables? And the use case for this prompt, and I'm going to show you an example now, is that I would like to understand what the government is actually asking for. And I would like to identify any milestones or requirements or deliverables. So I'm going to show you my process. You don't have to use SamSearch. This applies everywhere, but obviously SamSearch makes it easier. So what I searched for was construction, and I'm looking for active-only contracts, and I use SamSearch AI tags to search for product and services. I want contracts that are not just a product or just a service. I would like something, a mix of both. And then I'm also filtering using another AI tag, which is the simplified acquisition only. So I only want contracts that are sub to $50,000 because these are more small business friendly and I have more odds of winning them. So with these filters, I was able to get a lot of federal contracts, and a lot of them are new. And this one intrigued my kind of curiosity because it's kind of a converting unused recreation space to kitchenette. I thought this was a nice contract, and then it's a set aside for small business, so total a small business set aside. And as I've mentioned, it's a mix between product and service, and I know it's a request for quote. So with the AI tag here, I know that's a request for quote. I just wanted to give you an introduction about the opportunity we're going to be looking at. And I'm asking the AI here, this is the main question that I asked. I wanted to know what are the main requirements, and that's exactly what I want to know here specifically. So I know what I know the gist of it with the AI summary, that they want to convert unused recreation space in their New Orleans base, and I know that the project includes the demolition, installation of plumbing, flooring, all this stuff, but I wanted to get more details. So that's why I asked the first question, which is what are the main requirements? And as you can see here, we are getting detailed insight about the demolition, the painting, the flooring as well, the plumbing, and the installation. And then, of course, I'm looking here at the schedule work. So we have a schedule that we have to follow through Monday to Friday from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. And then here we have to provide a 1-year warranty. So with these things, I know now the main ideas. If this is not a good fit for me now, it's a great time for me to just move away from this contract and go somewhere else where I know my business is better positioned to perform the job or the service. But with the more idea that I got, I know now it's a good potential project that I'll be interested in. Now, which takes me to the second question. Once I know the requirements, the second thing I want to know is timeline and deadlines. The most important thing after being able to meet the requirements is meeting the deadlines. It's a yes or no thing. If you meet the deadlines, you're in the good. If you don't, in most cases, unfortunately, you are behind, especially when we are talking about projects like this one, which involves some sort of construction or demolition, painting. Usually there's a site visit. Usually there's a pre-solicitation. Usually there are steps that we have to be ahead of to be able to position our business to actually land these government contracts. So my second prompt, and it's a really important one, what are the important dates and deadlines? The submission deadline is not the only deadline that we care about, as I've mentioned. So it's important to lay out all the deadlines that we need, and that's what the AI is here for. The AI is here to go through all of these documents and tell me which deadlines I have to be careful about. So here we see that the solicitation was issued on July 15th. The quotes, they have to be submitted on July 31st. The questions, they have to be submitted by writing before the deadline, July 31st. And then the contractor must provide all required submittals within 14 calendar days after the award. And then the Coast Guard will review all the submissions within 7 calendar days after submission. So it's a quick turnaround. They submitted on the 15th. The deadline is on the 31st. Within 7 days, they are going to release the decision, and we have to submit all the required documents within 14 calendar days from the time we get the contract. And then we have 14 days, calendar days to begin work after notification of submittal approval. So once we get approved, we have 14 days to start working. So it's a pretty quick turnaround from when the solicitation was posted or the request for quotation and the time we have to perform the job. So these deadlines, as you can see, it's not just the submission deadline. We are looking at when we have to do the work, when we have to ask the questions, when we have to also request a site visit. So all of this information is very important. So we're not just focusing on one deadline, which is the submission deadline. There are a lot more deadlines that are important that we need to know about. So now that we know the requirements and the timeline and deadline, now we want to know the budget. So some contracts, they actually have information on the budget, how much they are willing to spend on this contract or what they expect the contract to be in the range of, especially when we are talking about forecast. So that's important. When they forecast, they're compelled by law to actually include the amount or so the threshold between like the range, the budget. So what we want to ask the AI, and that's what the AI is primed to do, read through these documents and give me if there's any information about funding. So I asked here the AI, does this solicitation mention the contract value or funding information? Very important, and usually it's not mentioned in the description. Usually it's not mentioned in the small summary that we get from SamSearch. It's something that it has to dive deep to get it. What the AI told me, and this is referenced from this specific document, SF1442, so this one, is that they are looking for magnitude of construction at or below $35,000, and that it will be a firm fixed price contract awarded to the offer with the lowest price. So what we are competing on is the lowest price, and that they are willing to spend maximum this much money. It has to be less than $35,000. There's not a lot of information, so specific price or funding details are not provided, but we know that what the max that they are willing to spend on this. So this is a very important detail for whichever contract you're looking into, because this way you could analyze whether it's a good opportunity for you or not, or whether you have some margin to make profit, how much you should set your quote to be competitive. So now that we have asked about the budget and we have an understanding of the agency's expectation for how much they want to spend money, we want to go to the fourth prompt, which is the eligibility requirements. We want to know who is eligible to bid on this. Are there set asides? 8A, SDVOBSB, women-owned small businesses. So why this matters is because you can quickly determine if your business qualifies without deciphering tense foreign language. We want to quickly know what are the set asides, who's eligible to bid on this, and who's not. I asked here, who is eligible to bid on this? Are there any set asides? So it says, so the AI said it's a total small business set aside, meaning small businesses are eligible to bid. And then it mentioned the NAICS code with a small business size standards of 19 million in annual receipts. So that's the definition. It quickly got it for us. And this NAICS code, that's how much you have to be making in annual receipts to be qualified as a small business. So you have to have that small business set aside. So that's all it said. No, doesn't specify any further subcontracting or socioeconomic set asides. So we are good if we are a total small business set aside. So we are good. But it says that we have to be registered on SAM. Now we know we are in the good when it comes to the budget, the deadlines, we have time, the requirements, they sound good to us, and we have the set aside. The next step that we always want to ask is the point of contact. And this is very important because the listed name on SAM.gov might not be the only contact information that you want to know about. So I'm talking about this specifically, the primary contact and secondary contact. These are important contact that you have to know. It's also important to know, sometimes they mention which contractor you have to ask questions to, which contractor you have to submit the bid to. So it's very important that you ask the AI this information so it could pull it for you and tell you which exact contact you have to contact for questions, or you have to contact for submitting the proposal, and so on. So here's what I said. I said, who is the contracting officer and what's their contact info? And then I got this information that there are specific contracting officers. So I got that this one is the lead purchasing agent, and they are the primary contact. And then this one is the Wesley is the secondary contact. And then I got the information here that this person, contracting officer representative, is the person who is responsible for technical questions and coordinating site visits. So the AI saved me a lot of time instead of going and asking this person and them telling me, oh, I'm not responsible for this, or them referring me to this guy. This way I know that if I have to ask questions, technical questions, or schedule a site visit, I have to contact this person and not the contracting officer. But here I know that the quotes, they must be submitted to the contracting officer mentioned here, the primary contracting officer. So this details is also very important, and it gives you a list of contacts with their responsibilities. Now we want to go to the fifth prompt, which is what are the required documentation? What documents do I need to submit in the proposal? And in this case, I asked, and then it gave me details. I'm not going to bore you with the details, but I got exact details on what I need to include in my bid. Now we want to go to the sixth and a very important one, which is the evaluation criteria. In the beginning, we asked about the requirements. It might be a good idea to actually ask about the evaluation criteria then. With this one, we know that they care the most about price. They wanted it's a fixed price contract, and the lowest bid is going to win the contract. So with that, we know that that's what they are focusing on. In some cases, they actually give points for past performance. They give points for how competitive your bid is. And in some cases, they have other factors that they mention. So it's important to ask, how will the government evaluate proposals for this opportunity? And then we want to ask risk assessment. I haven't seen a lot of people ask or consider this option, but we want to see what are the hidden risks. We want to see what are the hidden risks, if there's any red flags, if there are issues that the AI might see and that is not visible to us. So the AI can identify concerning elements that might not be immediately obvious. And that's why we always ask this question. Are there any risks, unclear areas, or red flags in the solicitation? And when I ask this question, now, prompt 9, which is what is the winning strategy? So I always ask the AI, how would an experienced government contractor approach this opportunity to win? Or you could say, which what I use also, how would I maximize my chances? So what approach would I need to follow to maximize my chances of winning this opportunity? And this would give you kind of strategic insights on what you need to highlight to differentiate yourself from your competition and make your bid actually attractive. So in this case, I asked the AI, how would an experienced government contractor approach this opportunity to win? And then it gave me exact details on how would that happen. So thorough review of the solicitation, confirm registration and eligibility, perform site visits. So this one is a core important thing that was kind of mentioned in the details in the AI. So this way I know that if I go and meet these people and see the project and talk to them and understand the project on a deeper level, my chances of winning are higher. Prepare accurate pricing. So since they care a lot about the pricing, I want to prepare a really accurate one so I could cut all the cost and leave margin for me to profit while maintaining a competitive bid, because they are looking at the lowest responsive bid. And when it's lowest responsive bid, that's the chance for new government contractors to shine, because they're not really worried too much about past performances as much as the price. So as long as you come with a competitive bid and showing them that you can actually perform the task they are asking for, then you should be in the good. And here we say, like, they highlight past performances, plan for compliance, and on it goes. But the key thing is you want to know what strategy you should follow to maximize your chances of winning. I want you to try these 10 prompts that I mentioned today. It makes breaking down contracts instant and easy, and it's also intuitive and in conversation style. And now everyone is using AI for everything in their lives, so might as well use it properly for government contracting. It will make it a lot easier. I don't think anyone these days is reading these long documents. So invest in a software like SamSearch and make your search and the process of breaking government contracts a lot easier. And also, I want you to win more and stress less. Make sure you use these prompts to maximize your chances as much as possible. Thank you so much for watching. If you'd like to get SamSearch, I'll leave a link in my description and the first comment. Thank you so much, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.